Hello, everybody. Wait a second. I need to check something here. Make sure my sound is coming through. Usually it monitors, but it is not right now. And let's see here. Hello, hello. Yes, I hear it monitoring now. So we're good. All right. Welcome to Earworms, folks. Tonight we are going to be revisiting Babylon 5. We're still in season 1. But tonight we're going to get introduced to the biggest baddies on the block. The Shadows will be making an appearance with their salesman, shall we say, Mr. Morden, stopping by. So we're looking forward to that. This is where the series really starts to shine with this epic millennial battle that has been waging throughout our galaxy for thousands and thousands of years. Every 1,000 years, good and evil decide they're going to have a bit of a unveiling, shall we say. But this time it's in the third age, a new age. And so that's what the series is mainly about. So we're going to be enjoying that tonight. I am going to bring on some of my panelists here. Let me make sure I have the videos ready. Here we go. First and foremost, ladies first. Hello, lady. How are you?
Hello.
You
Hello.
don't have your Delenn avatar tonight?
Well, I'm on the wrong computer. I still haven't set up stuff on my primary computer.
That's a shame.
Just behind on everything.
Well,
Grr.
that's all right. I guess we'll forgive you.
Yeah.
But tonight we do have this gentleman is returning, visiting us again. He's deadly accurate with a bow. Be
Oh, yes.
warned. Hello, Colin.
I wish I was that accurate.
Well, it's a rather big target.
Yeah, this is true. Standing right on top, on the back of the head, you can't really miss.
Hold on, let me make sure I fit in the frame here. There we go.
Heck,
Oh, yes.
to be honest, I wish I was that fit and healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, Legolas always makes me feel a little bit less adequate than I am. But anyway, looks like we're gonna have to wait a little bit for our friend Istophobos. Probably had to do a little pit stop in the little boys' room after Mr. Brown's stream.
I don't know
I
how
did.
quick it takes to swap from one stream to another as well. I suppose depends what Brown uses.
Well, I just heard a little bit of a boop notification, so I think we have him now. So there we go. Now, Colin is accurate, but this guy is also quite accurate too.
One rabbit suit coming right up. Look! Jesus Christ! I warned you.
Hello there, sir.
Hello, cheers, good tidings to all, happy new year and all that stuff. I didn't make many friends last night, I have to say. So
No,
it's
you
good to be
didn't.
back amongst the Babylonians.
Well, he's
Yeah.
referring to a stream on anti-derivative Jill.
Yay,
We
Jill.
were doing a
Yeah.
yeah, checking
Yeah.
in with the Deep Space Nine crew and the episode Bada Boom Bada. No, it's Bada Bing Bada Bang is what they
Yeah.
called it.
And you have to remember, I mean, not only were I friends, I was actively working with him during the time this show, Babylon 5 and DS9 were being made, and he was not a fan of DS9, as you can imagine. So,
You were working with who?
oh, Harlan Ellison, he was a friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
I guess the thing is, I didn't know about the conflict at the time because I guess I was a little late to actually both series, but a lot late to DS9. But Babylon 5 I did catch, toward the end of its run, and fortunately they were playing some of the repeats on TNT at the time while still doing season 5, and I just fell in love with it pretty quickly.
yeah, and remember, this was before the internet, so there were a few articles in the trades, but most of the conflict didn't come out until after the show's run were near the end.
Yeah, so I guess there was one person in the chat that did point out my avatar. I had John Sheridan up there. But no, I mean, I'm peaceful with both. I mean, yeah, Babylon 5 is definitely my love. I think it's just a great story, period. DS9 is more of like just kind of for fun,
Yeah, I when I view it outside of the Star Trek context, I can enjoy it a little more. I just look at it as, and also ran to Babylon 5. That's okay.
But I was wondering, so what was I know the big conflict was that basically the idea for Babylon 5 somehow got out and DS9 people utilized it.
It didn't get out. They pitched it to Paramount. Paramount turned them down and then immediately developed Deep Space Nine. There was no getting out about it.
They had the Bible for what, a year?
Yeah. And the amount of similarities was just, uncoincidental. I think this, it's kind of come up now because like the Stranger Thing guys kind of stole their show from two other authors. And if you need any proof, just look at seasons 2 through 5. Like, duh, they can't write. So, but a guy actually pitched them a show called Montauk in 2014, and they completely ripped it. They didn't even bother to change the names at first.
I believe someone mentioned this on a stream not long ago. I'm sure I've heard this before.
Oh, yeah. Netflix had to write 2 big checks. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't aware of that. As I said, I was interested.
Yeah, it also made me wonder, like, how many times have we seen a good first season and then season 2 is like awful? I wonder how many of those showrunners like stole their ideas too, and then they got to the point where they had to come up with something on their own and they weren't able to do it.
I've actually had I was thinking about that in the last couple of days. I wonder, is there a thing where you get is part of perhaps the curse of the bad second season?
Yeah, I'm wondering. It's not a curse. It's a tell. It's a giveaway.
Yeah, but I'm wondering from outside. Are there any? Is it possible that they get an idea and especially when you get these things that a lot of people, fans, don't like because they're disrespectful to the original, for example, or whatever. It's the thing where maybe the second season onwards might actually work if they divorce it from the original IP. Because I'm sure there are a number of shows that might work better if they were divorced from the original IP.
Well, I think the idea is, even though you don't have any guarantees that your show is going to go on for a second season, you got to have a story that you know where you're going.
Yeah.
and you got to take that risk,
You know who didn't steal their ideas? J. Michael Straczynski didn't steal his ideas, and we got 5 really strong seasons of a TV show.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
And I want to point out to Gavin that Harlan Ellison won almost every lawsuit that he got involved in. He was very litigious, but he was also very correct. And he would typically, he was the David taking on Goliath, and yet he won almost all of them.
Wow.
He
Well,
was really good about keeping receipts and notes. And that's what so the Stranger Things guys, they didn't win, but they got paid off to go away quietly. But what they had were a bunch of notes about where the ideas came from and how the characters came to be. And then they asked the Duffer Brothers, and they're like, we just thought of it. Like it didn't look good. The judge is like, no, you're going to have to take this to a jury. Like, I know you say it's baseless, but I'm seeing a lot of base. So
yeah, well, I don't know. For me, I do see them as kind of like different stories. Just because like Babylon 5 is like that United Nations of the alien races in dealing with their conflicts. It had this great overall story arc with the shadows, and then also the retaking Earth and everything, basically kind of like remnants of what the shadows did and everything. I mean it felt different for me, but
I
I guess at
agree.
that time,
Yeah.
I guess
I
at
think
that time though, still like the idea of doing a space station probably was kind of unique, and both of them coming out so close to one another was like, wow.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
think the themes and settings were stolen, but the stories rolled out in the stories were just so different, and so it is
Well,
what it is.
yeah,
well,
I mean, this goes on in Hollywood all the time, and a certain amount of it is accepted. But I think
I don't
deep.
accept it, but I
Well,
mean, I
yeah,
grew up
they do.
watching. Yeah, I grew up watching Deep Space Nine and fell in love with the characters and I just, I understand what happened now, but at the time, those of us who were just, watching television weren't aware of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And but
I-
it's wrong. It definitely is wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they had
this
you say the stories were different, but they had to change a lot of that on the Deep Space Nine side before they rolled it out, because it wasn't just a space station thing. They took so many of the ideas that were in the series Bible. So they had to make quite a few changes. And so Harlan Ellison would have
good
sued in a
as-
heartbeat. But
and they good.
yeah, but Straczynski
So
didn't want to
it-
sue.
That
Okay.
I mean, the industry is just.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been happening in this industry since it
Yeah, I
began.
guess
I don't know why
it's
there's
one
so
of
many
those things.
unscrupulous
It's one of
people
those
in
things
art.
where it's like, I can't believe that you can't just come up with.
Yeah.
I mean, your
Well,
real
whenever you can
own
make a lot of
story
money,
ideas.
well, it's not so easy. That's why we have so much bad crap today.
Yeah.
But whenever there's money, you're going to find unscrupulous people. But I was going to say, Straczynski never sued Paramount. He thought it would be hurtful to both of the shows, and he didn't want their show to fail.
I
So-
could just see that pitch for Space 1999. Like, here, this is the story. We're going to have a moon base, all right? And then there's going to be an explosion from radiation on that moon base. And the moon's then going to start cruising through the universe. I can see how that meeting went.
Proverbial
But you know,
elevator
this is
pitch.
this is one of the wonderful things about AI. You know, someone who can write can produce their own show, very high quality, without any middlemen.
Hmm.
Without
Yeah,
if you're careful about it, it'll be very, very hard for someone to steal your work.
Oh, I think you're extremely naive if you don't think that Google and Grok and everybody else aren't monitoring everything that's being put into AI and being notified if there's some good or unique ideas. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
hell, Chat GBT, people were shocked to find out all of their chats were actually public, and they started freaking out. So you have no
Yeah.
privacy, no expectation of privacy in AI. If you really have a good idea, I would say do it locally, because as soon as you send that to Grok, you're telling everybody, or Gemini, or whoever.
Yeah, true.
hmm
The thing
True,
is,
true. I acknowledge that, but the thing is, doing it locally, doing it the old-fashioned way is at a high enough quality for people to get into it. It's expensive,
Oh,
and
no,
most
no,
of
I
us
mean,
have nothing in our pockets.
no, you can run AI locally. That's what I'm saying. Still use AI, but it's just slower.
Yeah,
But you
just
can
use
run all the
Stable
AI stuff at
Diffusion.
them. Yeah. Well,
Well, yeah, if it's something like a piece of software you can buy and just run on your computer, if there are AI generators like that, yeah, that would
Yeah,
be a good choice. I
there
agree.
are some, for different purposes and things like that.
And document everything. Keep all of your files.
Yeah.
Yada
Yep.
yada yada.
definitely.
That I mean, all of us do this anyway.
yeah.
So,
Well, that
if you're
was
in
the
the arts.
secret to Harlan's victories, is that he kept all his notes, even if it was a matchbook, that he jotted down a character name or something.
Yes.
Because here's the thing about bad writers. They can't come up with a fake bullshit story about where their ideas come from any more than they can come up with any other story. So it always sounds a little bit shifty, you know,
Why do the bad writers get the good jobs?
because they're good at other things like industry contacts.
Or
I don't know,
Nepo
sucking
babies,
up.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to make promises they can't fulfill. But once once you're in the middle of it, it's that asking forgiveness instead of permission thing. So I think Hollywood is, even by design, laid out to the advantage of unscrupulous people. I mean, if you look at all
I
of it,
think most corporations are set up that way. Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
probably
it's
true.
like even within the
Yeah.
same company, everyone's competing with each other constantly and trying to one up each other in meetings.
Well,
Like,
you
meetings
just see the
basically
culture
are
at all of these
saber
places.
rattling sessions.
Yes, yes.
I think I can improve slightly on your elevator pitch for Space 1999, Lawrence. There, no,
I'm
very
just having
simply,
fun.
no, very simple. I can improve it very, very simple. I can guarantee it very, very simply. It's Jerry Anderson giving it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Jerry Anderson at that point in his career.
Yeah.
Mike Gorley's in the chat.
Yes. Unfortunately, Mike couldn't join us this evening. He's been doing a lot of
You expect
organizing
us
of
to
his
know, Mike?
man cave, and it's coming
Ooh.
down to the wire. But of course,
Mike,
that's
we need
where
a
he
man
makes his
cave tour.
music, so
Yes.
yes, we'll get a tour of that soon. But that's where he makes his music and his instruments, so everybody knows it's more than just a man cave. The place where the magic happens.
It's
So
the
anyway,
Hawk Cave.
It's a
tonight
what?
we are doing signs and portents, which means that we will be skipping over 3 episodes, but we will highlight them here quite briefly. One of them is this one called The Believers. And this is about a family who has a child that's ill. But in their belief system, you don't open the body. So surgery is not allowed. And but it would be a simple surgery to, shall we say, fix the kid and have him live a normal life. But they refuse to do that because they believe the soul will exit the body and he will become soulless. And so it's a heart-wrenching episode, and
I always skip this episode. I
yeah,
can't.
it
Yeah.
is kind of tough because
and it's got a bit of a surprise ending. It doesn't end how you think it would. I don't think we should do spoilers, though.
No,
yeah,
no
okay,
spoilers.
yeah, we'll leave that
It's-
alone. But
It's a powerful story for
No, I mean-
simply because it is one that could do with that people could do with actually taking the message from these days. that just that other people's beliefs are as valid as yours for them. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of felt that as long as you're not interfering with other people's rights and everything, believe what you believe. But it's kind of tough when you have a child there that it's like
Yeah.
that soul isn't going to drift away just because you do.
Yeah, and the important how it relates to our long story is that several of the main characters on Babylon 5 run up to they don't run up against limits. They're called to sort of establish limits of their own authority and what they're expected to do and what they are allowed to do and what they should do. So
Yeah,
as
the doctor
yeah.
is a bit of a rebel.
Yeah,
Stephen
there's a
Alexander.
great exchange where Dr. Franklin is accused of playing God, and he's like, "That's what every one of my patients wants me to do. They need me to do it," and it's definitely worth watching. It's just, yeah,
Yeah, seeing it once for me was enough. It
Yeah.
was just a hard watch.
But anyway,
Kind
the
of-
actor
kind
that
of what
plays the
Beast was.
father there, I think, played a Cardassian in Deep Space Nine.
yeah. I thought he was playing a Cardassian here too, man. He looks the same.
Excuse me. Yeah. So anyway, and then we're also skipping over Survivors, which gives us a Garibaldi backstory.
Oh, this
where
was a
he
good
had
one.
Yeah.
difficulties with alcohol in the past from choosing, I guess, the wrong way to deal with his problems. And it led to the death of this lady's father, who was a good friend of his. Although it wasn't the alcohol that caused it. It was, I guess, something beyond Garibaldi's power, but he still blamed himself for it. But he used alcohol as a crutch to try and deal with it. And
Yeah, she didn't blame him for the death. She blamed him for crawling into a bottle after it happened and not being able to be there for her. So.
I'm trying to remember. Is this the one where they get the new starfighters or not?
yes.
Yes,
Right,
because
I couldn't remember.
And
she's the head of the presidential security detail.
And I know they get some more starfighters, but I couldn't remember if they were the ones,
Yeah,
the
this
Atmo
is-
capable ones or not. If they were the
Right.
ones they took on later on.
of course, they give them to Delta Wing.
yeah. Once you go Delta, you never get better.
No,
It's like-
No, it can't have been because they didn't have Atmo capable fighters in
no, they got
The
new
one-
Star Furies, but
Yeah,
these
but-
weren't the Thunderbolt Furies.
Yeah, I was
That's
just saying, yeah, they
different.
weren't- yeah.
You're years away, bud.
that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking because
Slow
they-
down, Tiger. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, that's what I was saying. I knew
These
they
are
got new
the
ones.
these are the new shiny upgraded weapon regular standard issue Star
Yeah.
Furies with really nice paint jobs too, by the way.
Yeah.
They look
Mm.
great.
No, 'cause I was trying to because I know that occurred to me that they can't have done because they didn't have atmospheric.
Yeah,
capable
yeah.
fighters in another crucial episode later on.
But it is a good episode.
Hmm.
You really, man, you really get bothered by this lady because she basically came there with vengeance in mind. And,
Yeah.
And got Garibaldi taken off the case and then blamed for the incident that did happen. And and he had to basically be a fugitive and prove his own innocence. And but it has a good ending, but at least you get a little taste of what Garibaldi's life was like before, which then also plays into the whole story with what's her name?
Captain Lockley?
No, well, she was related, but I
Lise?
meant Lise Edgar.
Yeah.
Or Lise, wife of Franz first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Garibaldi.
anyway,
Yeah,
These are good episodes.
and we're not going to be skipping many bad ones because there aren't really many bad ones.
No.
We're skipping so we can finish before 2050 since we don't do this every week. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we're focusing on the ones that tell more of the overall story, but
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 bad episodes in the whole show. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some weaker ones in the first. And they're not even bad. I just get fed up with all the telepath crap in season 5. But
I think
yeah,
we've got
they're
one
not a whole
next
lot
week
of.
also.
Yeah, the again, since he actually is the real creator of the show and he knows what he's doing and where he's going,
Yeah.
there's no more than a handful of even weak episodes in the whole show.
Well, and the next one we're skipping is this one. I forget the name of it, but
By
it's
any
about
means necessary.
oh yeah, by the dock
Yeah.
workers, which
The
Yeah.
union pastor. Yeah.
This is a little bit of one. This wasn't like this wasn't one of my favorite. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I don't like it because I sort of wonder, like, it seems like he was trying to make a weird statement about unions in this one, but again, there's some political machinations and testing the limits on everyone's power around the station and
Yeah.
whether he's really able to call the shots like he felt like he needed to. So
yeah,
there's some good poking and prodding, but I kind of feel like they had a contract, they signed up to do a job, and yeah, I don't know. This one is definitely a odder, more strange episode. But
This is just looking at it, just reminding me that there is actually a slight callback almost to this one in a later episode where Sheridan makes a minor change to the budgets,
Oh,
to
yeah.
readiness budgets
Yeah.
regarding accommodation. Let's put it that way.
yes,
yeah,
That's spoiling that particular similar sort of thing at the end.
yeah.
Well, yeah. This one really was kind of like a labor union sort of thing, and I'm more of the opinion that it's like it's a double-edged sword, not a three-edged sword like Kosh would say. But
It's definitely a three-edged sword.
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
maybe. It is.
It's- I mean, to a degree, it's also almost a below decks type episode as well, where you see rather than it being about the officers at the top, it's about the blue collar workers.
Well, I feel like his intent was to talk about the economics and power of Earth and its relationship to the Babylon station, but somehow he got bogged down in the whole union labor thing.
Yeah.
But it's really about, again, what authority does Sinclair have? What is he allowed to do? They always bring up, you weren't at the top of the list to run this place. Are you a puppet? Do you have the real authority? Support by the other alien governments?
Well, it's actually in the episode we're doing today that it first comes to light just how far down the list he was and why he got his position.
Yeah. But I'd like to know, like, if they were really having that many problems, why didn't they raise the prices of some of the stuff on station and funnel that money into the workers for new equipment and better pay? If the pay was so bad, why did they sign the contracts in the first place? Just some questions that didn't really go answered.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things that. Yeah, and also, well, you would expect. I think you also saw that in the episode that the conditions, the schedules, and everything. Schedules may look better on paper than when they actually happen, and time is tight with ships coming in and out and everything. And
Yeah.
having to get things. Maintenance done quickly and all that. It probably was maybe their visions were unrealistic to begin with, and sometimes I deal with that too in my line of work, where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
your average handling time should be 2 minutes on this. It's like, dude,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
that's a
And
5-minute minimum.
And then
there.
theory hits reality, and reality wins
Right.
every time.
No, I'm not. Just to clarify, I'm not. I don't think workers should endure abuse. To keep to a nonsense contract once they realize it's nonsense. But having experienced what collective bargaining is like in real life, it never works out for the person that they're trying to help. And
Yeah.
these unions are abusive, and they steal money, and their tactics are trash. And they're as trashy as the organizations, that you as an employee are fighting against. So
Yeah,
there are no
well-
good guys in big organizations, in my opinion. This when too much power collects in a certain place, you just get trash.
Well, one of the things they establish in this episode and continue establishing is that Earth is cheap. Like Earth Gov does not want to spend money, but they also establish the station is capable of generating a massive amount of income. And so I'm assuming they have to send that back to Earth instead of using it to improve and streamline station operations. Because they don't really go into too much detail. I felt like he just got bogged down on the union story here.
Yeah, well,
of course, to feed
it's
the
government, man.
bloated government back at Earth that takes taxes from Proxima and Mars.
It's almost like with the way you guys overspend the budget and it keeps growing worse and worse every single year. Why don't you just like cut us a break on the taxes?
So
Right? You don't seem to really be worried about balancing it.
Just a minute. Can I be sure? Are we talking about a TV series or real life?
Both.
There's a lot of real life in this TV series.
That's what makes Babylon 5 so great. This is speaking to our reality too.
I don't skip this one on rewatches, but I will fast forward through quite a bit of it, but I'm also, I forgot that little bit here. Like there's always something in every single episode that's worth seeing. So, I don't have the cojones to totally skip any eps, but I will skim a few of them.
I said, I missed a bit because when I did my rewatch through for us for this, I skipped several of them, and I realised, for example, I missed a bit where Ivanova's father dies.
Yeah.
Or more to the point, I missed a bit where the rabbi comes on to sit and Susan hasn't mourned her father.
The thing about my last rewatch was the first time I saw the HD masters of the show. So, they did such a great job after. It's a long story, but the initial DVD release of the show was not very good because they were still using the renders for special effects that were rendered at broadcast TV resolution, and they were in a different aspect ratio, and the episodes, especially first two seasons, did not look so great. But when it came time for the remaster for HD, the Blu-ray, they did a great job, and this stuff looks a lot better than it.
Unfortunately, I have the other version.
Hello.
The other thing is they looked so much better on CRT TVs at the time. Because they were filmed and rendered for that kind of system, and they looked great on broadcast television. And then you get the DVD, you expect it to look better, and it looks like way worse. Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is here's our station here with some vessels going in and out. Well, we're going to find out pretty early here. It's an early morning for Ivanova. That's her alarm. Fancy. And she has a little trouble waking up. But,
that's a beautiful morning face shot.
Yeah, and she asks that question I think we all do. Why does my mouth taste like carpet in the morning?
Well,
your answer, sir, is, I don't know.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
I'm definitely biting down the word Talia.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Well, anyway, she makes it to CNC, and she says what her problem is. Basically, she has trouble getting up when it's still dark outside. But Sinclair reminds her, we're in space. It's always dark out.
It's always dark.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know. But anyway, we
What's
got
Judge
some
Dredd doing
message
here?
coming in. We got a message coming in. Basically, there's some problems with raiders in the sector. And it looks like, here's a Star Fury, and it's under attack and it gets blown up by these raiders that are going around raiding vessels and stuff. And so that's how we begin. It felt like a short episode. It felt shorter than the others somehow, because that's all we got there in the intro. But it is called Signs and Portents. And
Which is also the overall title for season 1.
oh,
Each season's got usually about the middle episode, I think, isn't it? Is the name, the episode title is the title of that particular season.
and our guest stars in this one, first one is Garrett Graham, who did play the Q in Voyager, the Q that wanted to unalive himself.
Oh,
because
so he did.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was sick of being in that comet they put him in or whatever, and he wanted to unalive himself. And that's when they had this whole, I don't know, they had like some sort of fake hearing or something like that with Janeway, and they even brought Riker in on it. Let's zap Stephen Franks in for an episode.
I'll say it's interesting positioning of the guest star names there, given who that is on screen.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's been out on the rim for a little bit, but he's coming back in. He's got some business to attend to. And then we have here, for a second there, I thought it said Fran Drescher. No. Freddie Ulster.
Lady Ladira.
Playing Lady Ladira.
She used to work in Flushing, Queens, I understand. Till her boyfriend kicked her out of one of those crushing scenes. Oh God. I could still call the theme tune to the nanny. That's not good. Oh dear.
Crushing scenes.
The nanny, Fran Drescher's TV series.
Okay.
I could still record a flaming theme tune to that. Oh dear.
The hostess with the mostess.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. And folks get their first
Hold on.
view of Mr. Morden.
No, you have to say it the right way. Mr. Morden.
Mr. Morden.
Have
Yes.
you skipped credit title there?
I think I may have missed one, but I
Because-
wanted to get Harlan in here.
Okay. No, I'm saying because I didn't see his name on the credit title on the guest titles there. But
Who?
I'm
Oh, Morden.
Maybe
I
he's not.
may have missed the actor for Mr. Morden.
Yeah.
Oh, but I could look that up quick unless someone knows.
No,
it.
it's Ed Watt is the guy's name. That's what I said because he saw him on the side at the start there.
Man, you know.
Average British nerd. I'm Cuban, but I can't roll my R's. It's a shame. It's
What
a
do I
great
want?
shame. It's been a great shame to my family.
I want to live just long enough to see your head. Oh no, sorry, on this end.
That's
You haven't asked that
Fear.
question
Fear
yet.
it actually isn't in this one.
Oh,
Good old Veer. All right, but this is an episode that J. Michael wrote. And there we go. So now we're having a meeting here. It's to do with the Raiders and the supply lines, basically. And basically the Raiders raid all sorts of vessels, and they've been having problems with them lately. Although in this episode, it's a different kind of raider that's going to be taking place. But after this meeting, where they plan how to deal with that, Sinclair has a question for Garibaldi. He wants him to do a little investigating because Garibaldi is a master sleuth. and he wants him to investigate why is it that because he already knows that he wasn't first in line for this station job. He's not exactly sure why he was put here. He has a memory hole as far as what happened at the Battle of the Line. He knows it has something to do with the Mimbari, and he had flashes that came up in a previous episode we did where he remembers seeing Delenn there and everything. So he's basically telling Garibaldi about it, and he'd like him to investigate what's going on. I don't have, a memory of what happened at the Battle of the Line and what was going on there. And it's a big mystery why the Mimbari would surrender when they were completely winning the war. And then he knows he wasn't first in line for this job, and he's wondering why he's there. And so he asked Garibaldi to look it up for him, and Garibaldi says, "All right, I'll do it." And so that's a bit of the subplot in this episode. Now here we have Molari is having a seat there, and he's looking back because he's expecting some people. I don't think he got a glimpse of Morden, though. And I'm trying to think, is there anything to say?
Nobody knows who Morden is yet.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he gets...
Despite the fact that apparently he was on the bridge of Babylon 5
The pilot. Speaking of this, this episode is David Corwin's first appearance as Bridge Tech number 2 or number 5.
Yeah.
No, and he will keep showing up on the bridge, getting more and more lines until season 5. He's actually a member of the cast.
Yeah, he I think his haircut later on was better. In this episode, he has a bit of a DA in the back there. But anyway, I'm wondering what's going on. Is my order off here or something? We have
that's where he's been asking for this. Sorry, go on, Esther.
It doesn't look it yet, but so I think you're still good.
All right. And then we have Mr. Morden kind of taking a look at things. See, Morden notices Molari. He probably has a little info on some of the ambassadors. He plans on meeting with some of them, but Molari was waiting for his. Well, no, he's going to head out and receive his guests shortly. But right now we have a bit of comic relief where Molari is standing there waiting for an elevator. And of course, it's always an awkward moment when Jakar shows up. And the gentleman in the middle there is kind of like in a bit of a tough spot because the other two are kind of snapping back and forth at each other. Yeah, he remarks, I hear you have a famine on Narn right now. Maybe it's because you're spending too much money on these weapons of revenge to get back at us, and you're not feeding your own people. And, yeah, Jakar says something about mashing your bones and eating the marrow out of them and all that sort of thing. Yes. They have a bit of a session there. Now, I know I have a slide coming up here. And where is it? Is it...
the one you just had a number on it.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, StreamYard's putting a couple of things on my screen here. It's hard for me to see.
All right.
All right, so let me call up this slide here. We have a bit of a video clip here. But it's kind of a funny moment. Share. No, I have it right over here. It's easy enough. There we go. Nope, not that. There.
You still haven't answered my question, Ambassador. What do you want?
And finally, here are some...
That's the thing. Oh, that's not it either. Oh, yeah.
They're not in
they're not in order. Let me see. 4-1 here. Good thing I have.
Now you can go to hell.
And you can kiss my pouch, you.
Now look what you made me do.
They are
You
so
can
fantastic
kiss
together.
my pouch. You can go to hell. And you can kiss my pouch. All right. And so they miss the elevator. They're too busy being angry with each other. And here's where Sinclair and Garibaldi are having a talk. And he's kind of like running down through all the things he can remember. And he mentions Garibaldi's kind of surprised. So are you sure you saw Delenn aboard the Minbari ship when you were taken aboard? He's like, yeah, I remember her. So it's great how over the first season, it's like the memories just start gradually being pieced together little by little. More exterior shots. And Mr. Morden pays a visit to Jakar first. And so he comes in and he basically has a simple question for Jakar. And I believe I have that question right here. That's video clip number 2. Play the right one. They are out of order. Here we go.
You still haven't answered my question, Ambassador. What do you want?
Real simple question. What do you want? And of course, Jakar's just taken aback. He's like, who is this guy? And why is he just asking me, what do I want? But he gets frustrated and just basically tells him, I want my people to get back at the Centauri and basically crush them and wipe them off out of existence, or all those sorts of things. And Morden says, and then what? And Jakar's like, well, I don't know. As long as the safety of my planet's assured, that's about it.
He's not ambitious enough for Morden.
Yes.
There's also an interesting point in here, very subtle point here, that this how much the shadows have already infiltrated, because Shakar asks, who gave you this appointment with me? And Morden mentions someone on the third circle, someone very high up in the known government.
Yeah.
So obviously the shadows have got some influence there. Now, whether it's direct or indirect, we never find out. But it's beginning to an indication of how high their tentacles go already.
Mm-hmm.
When, as we later learn, they've not been awake for long.
Yes, because Morden does work on behalf of some scary entity that comes back every 1,000 years.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
No.
Are we going to get ahead of her? I don't know. I don't know how we're doing that.
No, that's why I was trying to be a little bit careful with that. But
I guess we can just leave it kind of as is. But
yeah,
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure everyone watching this has seen Babylon 5. But anyway, yeah, that's the main question here, is that he didn't give Morden what he was looking for. Basically, he didn't have enough ambition. And so Mr. Morden's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later. So Jakar's like, all right, well, that was easy enough. And he leaves him alone. But you get that impression, right? He asks him, what do you want? And it's like, I guess just being angry for revenge isn't enough.
Well, you can see he starts off, he thinks it's promising, and you can see the disappointment come across Morden's face as he realizes they don't have enough ambition for their needs.
Yep. And so he heads out, and we see another exterior shot. I like to include the exterior shots because they do look cool. So anyway, Londo meets his guests. There's the Q that's tired of his existence, and Lady Ladira. So they come aboard, and basically, I don't know if they mention it right at this meeting, but Londo has secured the eye, which is a relic that did belong to the first emperor, and so it's something that's sought after. It came at a great price, and that was what he was getting from a dealer before, and Mr. Morden oversaw that, which was good for him to oversee. It helped him out later. But here she is, Lady Ladira. She also is a prophetess. She has visions and so forth. And she looks a bit troubled in the presence of Molari. And looking even more troubled there.
Yeah, Londo just thought he was getting the eye through his agents, and he's using it to establish legitimacy of the Centauri government. But he has no idea that Morden was involved in any of that. He doesn't know who Morden is yet.
But was he? I didn't think he had been at that point.
I think it's vague.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, definitely later, Morden and the Shadows get involved. But it seemed to me like this was just Londo bought.
Yeah,
bought it on behalf of the Centauri Republic, and it cost a lot of money. He was mentioning that to the guy that.
At the very least, Morden knew what was going on.
Yeah,
whether he was responsible or not. But sort of the idea is they're always pulling some kind of strings.
Yeah. Basically collecting information, and he knows, oh, that's something they value. Maybe that could be useful. And so anyway, but she's getting visions there. She's getting some premonitions. And Lord Kiro, who is her nephew, it doesn't really I don't think he puts a lot of stock in her visions, but he's got other things on his mind, as we'll see. But anyway, she's saying this place is going to be destroyed. Basically, she foresees the possible future of Babylon 5 being destroyed.
It's never explained why some Centauri women are seers, like they can see into the future.
I think it's just like just like some Earth women can see into the future. That's why they read tarot cards and stuff.
Well, I suppose if you think about it, they make a point that some Centauri, I can't remember if it's all Centauri, just some Centauri, can have dreams of where they're going to die.
Yeah, it's just some. Because I remember when we get a visit from Mama Troy later on, she comes at Londo's request because she has that second sight or whatever, and so it's implied that not all of them have it.
Yeah, and I suppose maybe the prescience is maybe it's a gender-based thing, and maybe Centauri males have a sight of how they're going to die, but some Centauri females have a broader sense of the future. Possibly, I don't know.
Maybe just a little more detail, because of course Londo himself does get some visions of his future and how he's going to die and everything.
I assume it's a similar possible spinoff of the telepath gene, but remember the Centauri used to be the premiering empire of the galaxy, so they would have been the ones that were meddled with the most by the ancient powers. So if they were going to be tinkering, just like the Narn have no telepaths, the Centauri got a little bit of extra tinkering around. And I don't really think it's here nor there. It might be something that you have to practice. And they don't use men for being prophets as much. I don't know. I never really thought about the gender assignment of the thing.
No, it just occurred to me because I think we never see a female Centauri have visions of her own death, and we never see a male Centauri see more general visions of the future. I don't know. It
No,
might just be that that's the way
no,
it's
I
written.
think they all knew when there were several of the Emperor's seers that knew their deaths. I
Okay,
don't think
fair
that's accurate
Okay.
at all.
No, that's okay. I must have missed something. I may have missed something there. That's fair enough. I said I'm just kind of memory, but
Veer didn't seem to get any visions, though.
No, yeah, but remember, Loxana Troy makes a point to say foretelling the future is a delicate thing. You can't touch on it so strongly as to cause it to change.
Yeah.
So it's predicting the future is tricky.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, she
But-
does also tell
And
him
she
that
does
the
faint.
future can be changed, and
Yeah.
I guess that's why she was so vague with her predictions later on.
Yeah.
Well, this lady also at the end of the episode does tell Sinclair that, the future can be changed, by your own thoughts and actions. So here we see a good old Epsilon 3 shot there.
Yeah, and
station.
obviously Babylon 5 doesn't get destroyed here yet.
No, but that
Yeah.
is referred to later with the possible future due to the whole Babylon 3 or Babylon 4 thing, where they
Yeah.
have to go back to weaken the shadows
Yeah.
to make sure that
Now-
they weren't strong enough to take down Babylon 5 early on.
Have we pointed out that throughout the show's run, every single commercial break, when the show comes back, they use an establishing shot of a station exterior. So
Yep.
Do they?
just what? Yep, every single time.
I'm
Yep.
not sure. I'm not sure what station it's on over here. Most of the time, I've seen I haven't had adverts in it, so I hadn't noticed.
Well, it's not necessarily. I don't know how they do it in England, but
Yeah.
on syndication, there will be more commercial breaks than were originally intended in the show. So it's not going to play that way necessarily
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But you can see where the original breaks were, and they
You
always
see the fades,
Hmm.
and you do have
Yeah.
the establishing shot at when it fades back in each time.
Yeah, I think I was a teenager when I realized that Gilligan's Island, they weren't showing the whole episode because when they syndicate stuff, they add more commercials, they cut out more of the original show.
Oh wow.
And I was waiting for a scene that never popped up. Yep, they do that today. So
Bastards. Well,
Yes. Agreed.
yeah, I don't know how the streamers do it, but that's because physical media people.
Yeah.
well, anyway,
Yep.
she fainted, but they went back to the room, and this is where they talk a bit about the eye. In fact, I don't think he shows it to him at this point, or not. I don't know.
No, not yet. I don't think
No.
so.
Yeah, but basically, also talking about the Republic and the state of things. I guess they're both of the same opinion that the Republic no longer has the greatness it once had, and I guess greatness through power is what Londo's thinking.
It's two old men longing for the heady days of the Centauri Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone's looking for somebody that thinks like that.
Yeah. Well, and then while they're chatting, this guy here is radioing something in, and you're wondering, ooh, who's that?
Yeah, that guy got me. This is this is the first time they show up, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Have we had the episode where they catch Nan giving the Raiders weapons, or was that a later episode?
With
With the Raiders.
well, no, it was in one of the. I think in the first episode, Sinclair does
Oh right, okay.
find out that the the
No,
station where the nephew
Oh,
was
okay.
at. Londo's nephew was when he was taken prisoner. Basically, the Narn were kind of like,
no, he's talking about the episode where the Narn ship will not submit to inspection, and
oh,
Jakar gets all indignant about it. And it wasn't until after they offloaded the weapons that they allowed the inspection to come in.
No,
We've already.
no, there was one episode where they were chasing raiders, and they found a raider mothership,
Yeah.
and they found a Narn on the raider mothership.
yeah, I think that was
surprising.
episode 1 because
That's
that
what I'm
it was
saying.
that,
I genuinely couldn't remember seeing that one because I know I
yeah,
think it was
because
the
it was
second
that
time I've
guy
seen much of the raiders. Yeah,
that Sinclair kind of had a inkling about from a conversation he had with Jakar was that the Narns sell to anybody,
yeah,
and so they found that they were supplying raiders and was also able to
yeah,
get some information about the nephew and the fact that they raided that station and was able to kind of get the Narn to leave and get out of the way. But anyway, so Morden is also paying a visit to Delenn, and she's like, "What? He's asking her, what do you want?" And she just kind of like, pauses a little bit, and she's not sure what it is that he's talking about at first, but then she gets a bit of a forehead, like a little bit of a headache, huh? And a little bit of a triluminary on her forehead.
Yeah,
Before she asks, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Istophobos.
Oh no, I'm just surprised that he even approached the Mimbari. But at the
Yeah,
time, we didn't know that. But
yeah,
yeah.
Right. I think she told him at one point, that's a dangerous question, right?
yeah, yeah. What do you want? And she's like, that's a dangerous question. Well, because the Mimbari have been talking with the Vorlons, and the Vorlons have the other question: who are you?
So at some point,
But
I
you
just
could
wanted to.
see something special there going on in her forehead, which I guess gets answered later. And then she sees the lights dim on Morden. She sees a shadow cross him over. And she suddenly realizes who he's with. So she covers her forehead so she doesn't give away the fact that she's glowing. And and he's like, she just says, "Okay, please leave me alone." Oh, and he's like, "All right."
And I know, jumping ahead a little bit, she sends Lanier to Kosh with a question in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
One of the last one. So I
The
wonder
last
why
one
she
of
doesn't
season
ask.
one.
Yeah, I wonder why she doesn't ask now.
Hmm.
Maybe she's she's not sure.
but yeah, she doesn't know for sure. She just
Yeah,
has
she got
a
a hint
bad feeling. Yeah, yeah,
he may be an agent, but she doesn't necessarily
yeah.
know that. Yeah,
And
maybe.
Yeah.
she doesn't ask now because she doesn't have any actions she's ready to take based on the answers,
Yeah,
like she
that's true.
does the next time.
Yeah, yeah, true enough. True enough.
But at least it does fade away. So she gets a bit of a feeling there. All right. Now, what do we have here? Is that a control? Oh, that's the eye. There we go.
Yeah,
Yep. So they're opening up the case where the eye is, and basically Londo's showing it to Kiro, and Kiro wants. He has ambitions. He mentions how it was in his family, so I guess his family line had the first emperor, and he basically part of him wants to just go back with the eye and ask to become emperor himself or whatever. And Londo's like, no, we don't do that. We don't do that sort of thing. I mean, they do kind of, but It's like it's not the good old days. In this day and age, you wouldn't be able to do that. So Londo gets him to back down from that idea, but he wanted to hold it at least and stuff like that. And he's asking Londo, whatever happened to everything? You know, what happened to the good old days? And Londo's like, I don't know. But what is the name of the current emperor? Is it Tehran?
Turan, I
Turhan.
think, Emperor Turan.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the main thing is probably him, that he doesn't have the same ambitions as previous emperors. In fact,
How we find out about that later on.
yep.
Sure,
And
find out about that.
it doesn't sit well with a number of the Centauri. They want the good old days
Yeah.
back.
Well, even at this point, Londo
He doesn't have the same ambitions, and therefore, yeah.
Yeah, Londo's even tempered though. He's not ready to go and take over the government yet. He has to be brought along baby step his way into darkness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Right now, he's
follow
just
lots of
doing his
steps of-
gig.
Steps
I
of
think-
what, from his point of
I
view,
think-
may well be good intentions, and we know where that lead.
I swear his hair's getting bigger as the episode goes on.
More feathered.
Yeah.
Yes, he could use a little bit.
But
of
these guys
coat.
don't have, they're lamenting the old days because they don't have as much power as they had before, because the emperor, I think, is keeping these people with certain ambitions at an arm's length, so they feel like they don't have access to power.
Well, you have to remember, in the good old days, 1,000 servants would change 1,000 light bulbs at their slightest command.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
I've
And
heard it before.
So the emperor knew who to downgrade, like putting Molari on Babylon 5, and
Yeah.
mhm.
and this guy, Lord Kierden, and so
Well, I think Malari's position was more like a joke because nobody took him seriously. He was not
Yeah.
a threat to
we
anybody.
find that
but-
out when Jakar takes the walk
Yeah.
to his head.
They couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't. They couldn't put him anywhere. But this particular emperor, it's the time for peace, and he does reflect that in his appointments, and he is
Mhm.
trying to isolate some of the more radical members of the court, more the ambitious ones.
It does
yeah,
make
exactly.
does make you wonder how seriously they took the Babylon project if they assigned Londo because he was a joke, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think anybody took it all that seriously to begin
No.
with. But it becomes, we have a whole episode on that. So
Oh,
not to get
yes.
ahead.
Yes.
It becomes something more.
Well, anyway, lady laying down. I'm not sure why I included that. It was a nice looking bed. But anyway, we're in CNC and a message is coming through. Basically, this ship is flying out there in the grid somewhere, and they're coming under attack by some raiders, and so they're radioing in. And Sinclair says, help is on the way.
Yeah. Never, ever, ever, when a message is coming through, is it good news? It just isn't.
No.
That is the bad news box right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have this one here. This is clip number 3.
You heard the man, Delta Wing. Hit it.
I thought I'd include that. Nice short clip there with the Starfuries, Delta Wing going out to handle this mission.
The difference here, of course, being that unlike in Star Wars, there is a reason why they drop, because the station is rotating, and therefore there's
Yes.
Coriolis force dropping them out.
Yep.
Unlike bombs in Star Wars, which drop for no reason.
Coriolis 4. Wasn't it
Cor-
Epsilon 3?
Centrifugal. No, the force of the rotation of the station pushes them out from
Yeah, I know.
gravity. I think.
Yeah, there's a little bit of gravity, but they're far enough away from epsilon that the station itself is orbiting epsilon.
Yeah.
But it's orbiting at a point where its gravity isn't as significant.
Yeah, what I'm saying
it all comes from the rotation. Yeah, and
yeah, the rotation is what pushes the starfighters out.
yeah,
which
they're
is why
just
they do
falling
the way
down.
They do. Yeah.
So anyway, they are flying down the side of the station and heading to the jump gate. And away they go. So Ivanov is on that mission, and we're back here where this guy also has a bit of a DA. But so now you get the impression that he's working with the Raiders because he's radioing into them and stuff. So it looks like there's some plans afoot. And let's see, what we have here is the Vorlon ship coming in.
They are
It's
really
got that
beautiful
clover
ships.
thing behind it that folds up as it comes in. And they say, "Welcome back, Mr. Kosh." All right. So Kosh arrives back, and Morden's just creeping around the hallways. And so he kind of ducks away because he sees Kosh coming by. So that's where you get the idea that Kosh might recognize him or something. I think it might also be that he's got two invisible shadows.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, don't forget what we find later.
Yeah.
Kosh would see them.
Yep. So anyway, she's arriving out there and basically arranging the formation. They're going to have a couple ships staying near the jump gate as they go after the Raiders. And now Molari is in his quarters. And is this when Morden comes? I don't know. I don't remember. Or is he talking to Kiro still? No, yep, this is when Morden comes. So Molari's got the eye, and he's heading over to Kiro's pad, and they're basically going to fly to Centauri Prime with it. And Morden saunters by Molari and has a bit of a chat with him. He does have an appointment, in case anybody was wondering. And, Molari's like, make an appointment. He's like, I had one. I did. And he's like, well, make another one. Molari's in a hurry. He doesn't want to have to deal with this strange guy. And then we get this wonderful line right here.
Yes, look. What do you want?
That's what I was going to ask you. What do you want?
You are a lunatic. Go away. Pester someone else.
Oh, if only he'd left it at that.
If only.
Oh.
You are a lunatic. So, as you see, Molari doesn't want to be bothered by him, but Morden's persistent. He's like, no, what do you want? And he follows him in the elevator, in fact, and just keeps pursuing the question. And in his frustration, I guess, Molari does break down and tells him what he wants. He's like, I want the old republic back. I want the good old days. I want my people to stretch their hand out across the galaxy like they used to do. Basically, ambition, power, wanting to expand their empire and, I guess, rule over other people and stuff. And basically, that's exactly what Morden wanted to hear. So Molari's still on his way out, and he doesn't think much of the conversation. But Morden does say, as he departs, you told me exactly what I wanted to know. And so I guess the shadows do see ambition, at least in this guy, and basically by extension, some of the Centauri Republic. It's not, revenge isn't enough. They want people that are really willing to go out and,
They want ambition.
expand themselves.
Well, they
They
want
want-
chaos because they think
Well-
through chaos you get evolution.
Yeah, no, they're looking for ambition in their puppets, is what I'm saying, because that's what they can manipulate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And next set of slides, I just loaded them up, but I'm a bit zoomed out, so I don't see where they got loaded. Oh, here they are. There we go. I believe this is deck 2. So anyway, we're back in CNC, and they're getting some messages in and stuff, and Sinclair notices that these raiders, man, they're pretty far away, and I think, is this where he gets the manifest? No, not yet. But basically, he's a little bit suspicious about this, because these raiders are basically choosing a target that's further from the station, and he doesn't like the fact that he's sending out Star Fury such a distance and lessening the defenses of the station. But anyway, here comes this guy. Radio guy comes in and stops the 3 Centauri and holds them up, basically. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. And then Kiro basically, excuse me, is this the point where Kiro does that? Oh, no. Here's the manifest. We cut back to here where he's now receiving a manifest, and he sees, well, these raiders, they're going after a ship that doesn't have much of value. This doesn't make sense. And so he radios to the Ivanova, and apparently they took care of the raiders and they're pursuing them. He's like, oh, no, cut that out. Head back to the station. I think it's a decoy. So basically he tells Ivanova to head back home, which is a good move. And this guy, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there's Corwin there. See, he's got, it almost looks like a man bun. I liked it better when he had the haircut. Alrighty. Trying to think here what's going on. Excuse me. Basically, yeah, this guy's taking him hostage, and he has the gun behind their backs, so Sinclair doesn't see it at first, and Sinclair's like, what's going on? And that's where Kiro takes the opportunity to try and get the guy with the gun, but ends up being taken himself. But we find out later it's a plan. So Molari and Ladira just see Kiro go away with the bad guy, and they're heading out to the Centauri ship with the eye. And so then
that was confusing.
What was confusing?
So I just replied to Scott in chat, and I'd got the YouTube up, but I was listening to you. The YouTube's about 30 seconds a minute behind.
Me at a delay. Yeah.
No, I'm hearing you talking about them going off, and I'm looking at Sinclair receiving the manifest.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Well, we did that.
Yeah.
And so now she's, I guess, getting visions again. They're coming for Kiro. They're coming for us all. Referring to the shadows there. So she gets impressions as to what's happening. And another exterior shot. All right. And I think, is this Garibaldi? because he sends out Garibaldi to disable the vessel.
One thing that I can't get to a degree for it, but everybody in this thing seems to be able to fly a starfighter. Everybody seems to be a fighter pilot.
Well, you get bonus pay. You got to keep your
no, I get that. But I mean, it's just it's it's something I noticed that so every single main character has to be a starfighter pilot if they're Earth Force, even though they're not necessarily what we might call normally pilots. I mean, he was a ground pounder and security, so I mean, I can see reasons for it, but it is something I noticed that everybody seems to be able to fly a starfighter.
Well, sometimes you need the head of security to go out there and get into space.
I mean, you need take a step back. Obviously, you need people to be able to do that for the story, but it was somewhat I noticed, but. It's Babylon 5, so I don't care. I can take it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also good. It's like, I guess if you're supposed to be on a space station and you're in the command staff, you should be able to.
They approach it almost like it's driving a car. Almost for any of the command staff need to be able to have a minimum certified amount of pilot skills. Now, in this case, everybody's like a super hotshot pilot.
Yeah. But I think of it. Does Zach fly? I'm not sure Zach flies a.
There is no way in hell. Yeah. Zach can. You would have me living on a space station if I couldn't drive something I needed to get off the damn thing. So.
I can see that. I'm thinking that fighter pilot is one of the things that got me with Space Above and Beyond as well. Is okay. I understand it for the story. And I understand it's based on the US Marines, and I understand the US Marines ethos. But you've got these highly trained fighter pilots, and 80% of the time they're on the ground, necessary for the story. But it's something I noticed. But
it takes time and resources to make a good pilot, and you wouldn't put them at risk doing basic ground pounder shit. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's out there. Disable the engines. Don't destroy the ship because there's a hostage there. So Garibaldi's supposed to do that, and then we see a jump point forming, and then they see that there's a mothership for the raiders. It's like that's how they're able to get in and out quickly from places because it's a ship that's capable of forming its own jump point. And so the mothership is releasing its fighters. And so now the station is on red alert. And they're closing the blast doors and everything. So Garibaldi's out there, and they're one wing down because the Delta Wing is still returning from the decoy mission. And so anyway... But Garibaldi is able to handle the situation because, as you know, he is a pretty good pilot as well. And so the station's firing, the fighters are firing, and we have a bit of space battle going on. Pretty cool stuff. And what is this? Yeah, Molari's trying to get Ladira out of there. It's like, we should leave here. The station is on red alert and all that. And she gets a little bit of a vision around him. Man, she's really got those looks.
Weird eyes. I wonder if it stands out because of the hair. Just as a thought.
Or lack thereof. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If that's the same for Delenn, because they've got no hair, which we used to. Our brains are used to seeing hair as part of the face. So I wonder if that makes the eye stand out a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and also she's acting.
Well, yeah, and that.
Yeah. It might be a small part, but I see plenty of Minbari and Centauri females where their eyes aren't standing out and they are equally bald. So.
Oh yeah. I said maybe with that. Maybe with the pose that it's supposed to be the.
No, she's got that look. that.
It's good casting. He
Yeah.
gets the bug-eyed ones to be the
Well, and Morden's still on the station too, walking around, and that's where we see Kosh coming down the hallway and tells him they're not for you. Leave
Yeah.
them alone.
And there's a certain amount of cinematography going on where the lighting and the camera are always focused on the eyes. If you go back to that Morden one,
Yeah.
you'll see they're focusing on Morden's eyes too. So some of it
Yeah.
is really just how the show is. So they're focusing
Good
on
point.
that.
Yeah.
But Kosh tells him, get out of here. Leave them alone. But it's like he should know better. Every 1,000 years, this is what we do. What do you think we were going to take this one off? So anyway, yeah. And there's all sorts of fighters flying around outside. And is this what? No, not quite yet. Here's the. Man, he's got that look too. He looks like a bad guy. No. That's Corwin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, the fighters, and there's all sorts of strategy here. You can't capture that in slides, and I can't give a play-by-play of it, but there's a strategy of, basically doing more like distant shots and everything, and trying to push their fighters, to go down the side of the ship where the guns could target them and everything, and then pinch them between the new arriving Delta Wing and Garibaldi's wing. So that's the strategy there, is to kind of like pin them between them. And so, yeah, get a little bit of strategy, a bit blurry there, but that's when the fighters start going down, caught between two different wings of Star Furies and the guns on the station. They get all sorts of blown up. Okay. And Ivanova, came in to kind of save the day there. And there's a jump point forming. And although that looks like the jump gate, because it's yellowish. But either way, the mothership is leaving, and Ivanova wants to pursue, but Sinclair says no. Stay put. And so the mothership does get away. And so now Sinclair is back in his office, and he needs to have a bit of a meeting with Kiro and Molari coming up. But no, not Kiro. He's off on the mothership. He's going to have a meeting with Ladira and Molari. And but I think just before that, Garibaldi reports the casualties and says they lost like 3 ships, and they lost a pilot, and Sinclair says, "Oh, I'll handle it." Basically, he'll talk to the family. But you get a sense of the personal sacrifice there. And anyway, now it's time to meet with these guys and find out why they didn't declare this I thing on the manifest. And, we might have been able to better protect it if we knew. And he asks Ladira to explain. And she says, well, it's a long story. He's like, well, my time is your time. But as she picks up a cup of coffee, she gets some visions in the coffee. And she sees the jump point opening up and the mothership coming out. And actually, she senses the oncoming shadow vessel, which we're going to see in a moment. But anyway, Firo, I keep calling him Firo. It's Kiro. Is here with his, we find out that basically he planned this. He wanted them to kidnap him so that he could steal the eye and try to get the Centauri to make him emperor. And these guys are like, no, we don't care about that. we're in it for the money. And so basically he knows that basically he's going to pin Kiro to this because Kiro doesn't want it to get out that he's double-crossed the Centauri Republic. So he says, after we get the ransom for you, you're going to keep paying us because you don't want this to get out. And so the Raiders basically got him between a rock and a hard place and take the eye away from him. And so there you go. Never be a bad guy because there's always going to be other bad guys that are going to screw you. And then all of a sudden, the biggest baddies on the block show up in the shadow vessel. We get to see it for the first time. Although I don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know it's
called shadows yet.
No, we don't know that. The only thing we do know is that Lord Kiro thinks his aunt is a bit of a loon because she predicted on his first birthday that he would be killed by shadows.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. She predicted that he was going to be killed by shadows. And, but there we go. And there's a little bit of a beam coming out of it, and it does the slice and dice thing with the shadows.
This is the first time the viewers get to see these. It's pretty quick, and they are quite terrifying.
Yeah. And there goes that ship. I wonder how they got the eye out of that, though.
No,
Transporter.
I was thinking that's something that would almost be an interesting sort of little thing to do, filling little bits of pieces here from the opposite sides. It's obviously they know it's obviously a shadow operative goes aboard the ship, gets it from the wreckage, but is it a human? Is it a
My guess is Morden swapped the eye with a phony before the transaction, even with Londo, and it was just keeping it safe. And that was just a replica that got destroyed.
Well,
possible, I suppose. Yeah, maybe. But again, something that I was thinking earlier on today, and thinking about exactly that, about how did they get it out there? And it might be an interesting little short to do, But,
they would never blow up an entire ship with the expectation they could recover something intact from it. That's why shadows could easily duplicate something. They have the technology. So
yeah, and there she goes.
Yeah.
Coffee slips out of her hands. Hold on, I went the wrong direction.
Yeah, for all we know, they don't even have the eye. The shadow's just making them think they do, and Morden actually has the actual eye.
Yeah, there's a lot of possible. When you look at these things again, there's a lot of possibilities there.
And then she does some more face acting.
Yeah, I want to know who cleans up all the spilled shit on the floor in the command center and the conference room, though. Because
don't we find that out in season 5?
Who cleans
no, they
it
are. No, they repair stuff. You never see anybody mopping or
Mac and Bo.
That carpet looks like it takes a stain too. I'll tell you.
Yeah, but it was a good shot though. But anyway, that's what happens. She gets the vision, and the prophecy is fulfilled, and she senses that the shadows have come for them all. Now, I need to load up the third set of slides here. So, let's try and do that properly if we can. Oh, my goodness. There we are. Slides 3. Histophobos. Yeah, and then it doesn't put them. You think it would put it at the end of the list here? Nope, it doesn't. So there we go. She's had her moment, and he's like, "What's up? What's going on?" And I forget what she says, but she sensed the Kiro is dead, and And that's when they're saying goodbye, and he's all worried about, well, I guess I'm going to lose my position because I lost the eye. And Centauri will say, what? You can't even hang on to the eye? And so she says goodbye, and she leaves. And then Morden comes in to give him the good news. He's like, here you go. It's a gift from friends you didn't even know you had. And he opens it up and sees that he has the eye. Oh my goodness gracious. And then
For
he's like,
someone who's so politically astute, why did he think that, he can get something for nothing?
I don't think he does, but he won't be giving Morden lip the next time he gets asked a simple question.
yeah. And then he says, how can I thank you? Or something like that. And basically Morden calls down the hallway, we'll find you. Basically.
Yeah, it was a creepy moment there.
Yes, we will find you.
Jill, welcome back.
Hello, Jill.
Hello.
And then what's now? All right, here we go. So Garibaldi did a little bit of digging, and he's like, well, you knew you weren't like top of the list for this job. Well, guess what? You were way down the list, which is the Minbari kept refusing all the appointees until they got to you. So basically, the Minbari wanted him there, and the purpose of the station to keep the peace, basically. Of course, Earth Alliance and the enemy that they had, they're an important part of that mission is to have the Minbari there. So the Minbari wouldn't do it unless Sinclair was the commander of the station. So he's piecing it together. And so we have more to think about there as we get to know the backstory. I don't know if anybody wants to add to that or not, but that's where Sinclair sees that the Minbari had a role to play, a major role to play. And as
I'm
he
having Laura, I'm having a really hard time hearing you. It's like you've been getting lower and lower in volume as the stream has been
really
going. Yeah, I haven't heard a single thing you
is
said
that
in a
better?
while. Try. Has
Liza,
anybody
do you
else
hear me
been?
all right?
Now I can.
Yeah, I can hear you. I've been hearing you
I
okay.
could
But you
hear
come
you,
a bit
yeah.
quiet. But yeah,
Okay.
I've been hearing you okay.
So why would my? Yeah, so it must be on my end. The volume keeps going down. I don't know.
I do not know. But, well, we're going to be closing it out now anyway. So Sinclair walks in to see Ladira off, and he knows about the vision she's been having, and he asks her about it, and she says, well, no, the future can still be changed by your actions, or even your thoughts can affect what outcomes are coming. But at least as it stands now, she foresees Babylon 5 being destroyed. And so, something for him to think about. Now, it looks like I did miss one video clip because I have a fifth clip here that I did not play. And so let me see what that is. Might as well play it since it's the vision. Oh, I should have played this. Of course, that could have been when they demolished it.
I was about to say
In
that it's
season
very
5.
like sleep, like one angle from Sleeping Light.
Well, in any case. Oh, and that's where I was supposed to play the clip anyway. So that was good. There we go. And so now the viewer, at least, knows that we have a bad outcome that's possible. But always keep that in mind, folks. The future can change. And of course, it was executively produced by Douglas Snyder, as well as J. Michael Straczynski.
Netta. Neither was Davros' second in command. You're still stuck on the genesis of the Dalek stream, aren't you? Douglas Snyder.
Netter, yeah, okay.
Actually, did you?
Nida.
Did you or someone called Snyder Douglas Snyder once? At one point when we were doing the genesis stream or not? Am I going even more mad than I thought I was? I feel someone got Snyder's name wrong once.
Well, I've probably said that before because I've always, I guess that second T or the first T I always saw as an I.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good at seeing.
No, I'm just wondering because Douglas Netta, if that's a name you've got in as, you know, if you've got that name in your mind from Babylon 5, Snyder's sufficiently close.
Well, wasn't there, what was one of the producers for Red Dwarf? Was it like Grant Naylor?
Doug Naylor.
Doug Naylor.
Yeah, what?
Another Doug.
Yeah. I think it was Doug Naylor the pen name of the two. I can't remember off the top of my head.
All right. Well, that's it for tonight, folks.
I've just having watched this again, it occurs to me, at what point did Kiro see similarities to DS9 again, decide to plan with the Raiders because he didn't know that Londo was going to dissuade him from using that. So did he have the two plans going all the way through just in case? I don't know, but
no, I think he didn't seem committed when when Londo basically told him, "Nah, you shouldn't do that." It was almost like an afterthought, just a thought sort of thing.
Yeah,
I
mean, but
it doesn't
there-
look like he was actually planning it.
Yeah, there's nothing that happened that couldn't have been done, impromptu at the spur of the moment. You know, it's the shadows.
Yeah.
They can pretty much do whatever. So
yeah, that's true. And I suppose he may have been that may
He
be
was
his
just
plan all
speaking
along.
his thoughts out loud, but he
That may be
already
his-
had his plan in motion.
Yeah, maybe that was a plan all along anyway. To be
Yeah, and I'm going to look here because I'm thinking next week, should we do another Babylon 5? Because I
Yes.
think I'd like to do, I think Grail is
yes,
coming.
yes.
Let's do that.
Grail for two reasons. One, it's
David
Grail,
Warner and
two, David
Jigsaw.
Warner. Correct.
And Jigsaw. Good old Jigsaw.
yeah, I can hear everybody fine when they're screaming. Maybe a little too fine. Just saying.
Well, TKO is actually the next one, but I think we could skip that.
Yeah, we talked about skipping that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even skip Grail, except it's such a great episode. No, I'm saying you could. I'm not saying we should. It's
You
know,
have planning ahead. If at some point we're going to do a late delivery from Avalon, we have to do Grail.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
one I'm not going to skip.
I mean, after Grail, we go to Voice in the Wilderness, and then there's no stopping till the end because there's no skipping.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
we'll skip Eyes and Legacies, and then we'll start at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They all have to be done. So
it's a shame because Eyes is an interesting background. But
yeah,
as you said, they're all good episodes.
they're all good. Yeah. So,
Well,
but Grail
Eyes
is
and
nerd.
Legacies, you're saying we'd skip, but the rest we do.
Grail is
I
nerds.
forget what Eyes is. I don't know all the time.
Eyes is
The guy the Nazi guy who tries to steal
that guy.
command. Yeah.
the Nazi guy
then we
with
don't
Jewish
get to see
name.
Wei-Yun.
Yeah, that's Wei-Yun in there. Yeah, I mean, we could
Or
do
Bright.
that, but there's just I don't know if there's enough. I don't know. It's your show, not mine. We
Nah,
could do all of them, but
Let's stick to Plan A, Lawrence.
Yeah.
And do
Okay.
Grail.
And I'm just looking real quick here at Grail is going to be the next one. That's no
Yeah.
question. Legacies. Oh yeah, that's where Nehru shows up and
Yeah.
Delenn does a little corpse stealing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think Grail has given me a great amount of things to say throughout my life to anybody who claims that they have had bad luck.
yes.
It's really applicable to almost any situation. So
Yeah.
the way David Warner views things
And
is a wonderful perspective that anyone can easily adopt in their own life.
and it's
finally the numbers added up.
yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
we get Onwards Wellington again.
Good
What was
old
his first
Wellington.
appearance?
He did. I don't know if it's before or after, but he did that appearance with the fake Kosh.
That's next week. That's Grail.
Yeah.
Oh, that
that's
is Grail.
Grail,
What
Yeah,
is-
with the Nakaline feeder.
yeah.
Yeah. I missed what was being asked.
He
Something
was
about
asking
Wellington?
about Onbuds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember if Grail was his first appearance or not.
I think it is. I think he only had 2 appearances, right?
Yeah.
And I forget what the other one is.
The other, he's definitely in the one with Maureen Robinson.
Yeah. With the machine. So,
And
Oh yeah, the lady who.
yeah, with
The
her
healer.
and I forgot the other actress's name.
June Lockhart.
Yeah, June Lockhart and
Quality of Mercy is the name of the
Yeah.
episode.
the actress that plays her daughter. And I blanked on the lady's name.
Oh yeah, she's
I know she's in North
Stephen
and South.
Alexander's bit of crumpet.
yeah, she's we can shuttle her over to Brown Stream for a solid 1.
Yeah. Oh, she was definitely when she was back in North and South. I
Okay.
did like the dresses in
So next
North and
week
South.
it will be Grail, folks, and thank you all for joining us. Oh, and thank you, Scott, for being the great mod that you are. And I forgot to play his intro.
Oh no! How
Yeah.
dare you?
Kate McNeil is the actress.
Kate McNeil,
She
thank
played
you.
Janice.
Yeah, thank you.
Eat my shorts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott. All righty. So I guess we're going to call it a night now. Anybody want to say something, or you can
Yeah.
forever hold your peace?
was in Space Cowboys.
Who was in Space
among
Cowboys?
among other things, the she was also in Star Trek Enterprise. But Space Cowboys is a Clint Eastwood movie with the older astronauts going on a mission.
All right.
Yes. So yeah, she actually has a rather extensive filmography. I didn't realize, but
She was in. I know June Lockhart. The only thing I know she was in. I think it was Troll. She was in a movie in the 80s where she turned into her own daughter.
Turned
Where
into
she-
her own daughter.
Yeah. She's an older lady. It's a sort of a. I think it's about Trolls or something like that. It's a sort of a horror-ish one, but she plays this older witch lady, and she comes downstairs. She plays an old lady. The character is an old lady.
Yeah.
And at one point she comes and she and basically she turns into a younger version of herself. And
Okay.
said younger version of herself is played by Anne Lockhart. It's played by her daughter
oh,
from the original Battlestar Galactica, amongst other things.
Oh. Wow. It's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we are about 9
what about
minutes
2
short of
instances
2
I know
hours,
anything
but
like
I
that
think-
happened?
But I think we could call it.
yeah. The movie was Troll.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Troll. Is it about a troll?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. It's the sort of if I remember right, it's a very long time since I've seen it, but it's a sort of that Gremlins type urban as opposed to about a troll out in the Norwegian wilderness or something like that. You know, it's that sort of one.
The trolls are like really tiny dudes, though.
Yeah.
She was also in a romantic comedy movie with her daughter, Just Tell Me You Love Me, in 1978. Yeah.
I don't know that.
June Lockhart and Ann Lockhart. So
they've got a cave troll.
And she didn't actually, she didn't kill it in 2 seconds. Unlike Guy Ladriel.
Oh God. Don't even. So, and Kate McNeil, she like I love just going and seeing all the old TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
She was in that classic early 2000 series Touched by an Angel, but not in the more sordid BBC version Touched by Father Mulligan. So
she was also in a cop show with Lee Horsley.
He
Hawkeye and Sword and the Sorcerer. I'd say Fame, but that's what I know him from.
Yeah, Lee Horsley wasn't in a whole lot of stuff because his career sort of it looked like he was going to have a big one like early on.
Well, I would have had a big one if I was acting alongside Kathleen Bella, but that's another story entirely.
Yeah,
that's a Mr. Brown type story.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's done a little bit part. He's one of those guys that's like, whatever happened to him? Because he started out with such on a promising trajectory, but shit happens in Hollywood all the time.
Oh yeah, all you have to do is say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
or do the wrong thing, or meet the wrong thing, or not say the right thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It could be Kevin Sorbo, for example, and yes.
Like in these days, they're counting how many straight people you put in all your TV shows, and if you go too high, you'll never work in this town again.
Oh yeah, we were rewatching some of the Matt Smith Doctor Who's, and gradually you get the impression, I guess, Rory and Amy are the last heterosexual couple in the universe.
Huh.
Yeah, it gets to be that way. I mean, it's certain. Well, I've been rewatching Elementary, and there's a few bits coming down. I'm thinking, I don't remember some of these attitudes when I watched it a while ago, and it was 10 years old now. And okay, I can see something's coming in there, but
oh no, that show was plenty ahead of its time, but because it was well written, nobody bothered. They have all sorts in that show. They do gender swaps. They do race swaps. They have but the thing is, the show is so well done, nobody cares because it's all in service to the story. So
I mean, it worked for me because they'd taken the name. There's a couple of bits I wasn't overly happy with. I had no problem, for example, with Lucy Liu being Watson.
No, I didn't either.
Because they wrote it, as she said, they wrote it so well.
Thing is, I didn't like her as an actress until that show. That's the show that sold me on her. Now, like, I like her because of that show, and but they, I get on this. The show is a great example of how to, if you really want to do some things, there's a way to do it right, but the writing still has to come first.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But also Johnny Lee Miller is just, hell, they, his landlady, which is traditionally a older British, a proper Mrs. Hudson, is actually I guess you could just say, is a transgendered person in Elementary, and didn't bother me for a second.
I'd forgotten that character existed.
Very
introduced.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah, she's not his landlady though. His father is his landlord, but she's sort of like the house cleaner, occasional experimental subject, muse. And
yeah, it's like it's fine if you make it a character, and it's
yeah.
not like just box checking and so forth. You need
And
to develop characters.
it certainly started to fall apart in 2018, 2019, but the show had 6 really solid seasons, and I've gone back and rewatched it. Every bit as good as I remember.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through season 4, or quarter way
And
through season 5 at the moment. So
a very clever way that they modernized some of the classical Sherlock Holmes stories. Yeah.
oh yeah,
If you're not careful, that show's going to go on the list now too, and then you guys will never be finished.
Which one is that?
Elementary.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
I always thought the BBC Sherlock show was ridiculous. It was, I don't want to say the word, somebody got hit on the head very hard and then wrote the writing is, Jason, the writing is awful on that show. Nothing really makes sense. They make all these kind of ridiculous assumptions and leaks of logic, but the plotting on Elementary is excellent.
I reasonably enjoyed Sherlock as it was, but of course Sherlock is the reason why Doctor Who went downhill so fast, because Stephen Moffat was doing both at the same time. He was doing Sherlock and he was doing Doctor Who, and I suspect both series suffered from the fact that he was doing 2 shows at once.
Yeah,
I
would make sense.
I think the show suffered because they were writing in both cases they were writing an extraordinarily intelligent person that continued to act really stupidly, and that's never going to work.
I mean, the I think we mentioned on the Space 1999 UFO stream, but interesting, I wouldn't say stunt casting, but interesting bit of casting in Sherlock was that the actor and actress that played Sherlock and Mycroft's parents are Benedict Cumberbatch's parents. One of the Ventham and I can't remember her husband's name, but they are actually Benedict Cumberbatch's parents.
Yeah. I know Moffat is at times capable of writing, but but remember, Sherlock was kind of on at the same time Elementary was, and for me it was no contest. Plus, you were still getting 20 episodes of Elementary a year. That was instead of 3 Sherlock episodes.
Yeah, you don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, folks.
Yeah, I think they still do it on broadcast TV, but I haven't seen anything do they still make broadcast television? Like they must, because there's still channels in business, but yeah,
but one of those is the BBC, so that's no.
All righty, folks. Well, we're gonna.
I feel like we finished way early.
It's 2 hours.
Okay.
But remember, Brown was a little late tonight. We started late, so.
No. 2 hours is I seem to recall. I don't know. It just I think we hit a good pace today, but
yeah. This episode was efficient.
Yeah.
And I didn't overslide it.
There was only really the main story.
Is that the new term, oversliding? I like that.
Yeah. Well,
is there time for a shameless plug?
Yes, go ahead.
No, we want shame. We want shame. Show us your shame.
Okay, I shall do a shameful plug. People, I need watch time. Go to my channel, watch some videos. If you like cigar box guitars and blues music, go there. Psychiatric.
Yeah. And if you don't know what a cigar box guitar is, then really go there and learn.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
If you like just regular guitar, go there. If you like music, go there.
Oh.
Yeah. And
you
also
know,
she has some Max MSP tutorials and things.
And that too.
And to
Yeah,
wanna
if
learn how to
you-
make a preamp.
If you think you like blues, go there definitely. But then you really need to know what the fuck a cigar box guitar is. So
It's not too hard to figure out.
no, go complete your musical education
Okay.
and go to Liza's channel and watch all of her videos.
All right.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we shall see you again next week. Oh, actually, I think we're doing a Friday this week. King Crimson in the Court of the Crimson King.
I feel like we did that last month. I'm so confused.
No, we didn't do King Crimson. We did Rush and Genesis, selling England by the pound. Now we'll be doing King
I just listened to a lot of King Crimson at home, and I feel like we talked about it. Yeah, I'm. That should be quite enjoyable and good. Yeah.
All righty. All right, folks, here we go. Good night. Oh, wait a minute. I should play the pre-outro, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should. We do want to remind our folks that, about the cinema.
And finally, here are some completely gratuitous pictures of penises to annoy the censors and to hopefully spark some sort of controversy, which it seems the only way these days to get the jaded, video-setted public off their fucking asses and back in the sodding cinema.
End. I'm hitting end stream.